All right, good evening and welcome back once again. Still 22nd of June 2025, a wonderful Sunday evening. And what we are up to tonight is to take some question and answers that might relate to what you have been asking. A lot of people have been asking us some questions in the comment section, and we want to see how much we can dwell on some of these questions for the advantage of everyone who is in the grand ecosystem who could possibly lay hold on this submission tonight. Whatever you don't know is above you. First off, let me begin by talking about the phone number of what's the name again? Reverend Elmo. A lot of persons have been asking for that, but we have not had that handy yet. And so some of this information that we disseminate here, we might not be directly giving you some of the details of those people on this channel. You get reasons. There are reasons. We give you that information because you could hear them and we direct you on them. But when it comes to linking you to certain personalities directly, we might not be doing that. The reason being that some of these people, all of them have their weaknesses. You wouldn't want to tie anybody to the fact that, okay, you supply the contact, the details of this person who finally scammed me, and you tie it to us. When it has to do with money, you're paying money to somebody. We are wary to supply such information for security reasons. And the one you pay your money to such a personality, you make an advancement to ensure that you were the one that link yourself to that personality. You could catch up the information here, but you could make extra effort to see that when you had to pay money, we did not direct you to the person you had to pay money to. We just give an information for you to know that, okay, such a thing like this is going on. Just like there is a voice note I might drop here tonight, which is coming from a particular someone who is talking about the pioneer slot, and it really drove in so hard on that if you want to settle according to him, if you want to settle for less, you can just stay on your subscription to UAAG. But if you want to make a monumental money and all that within this ecosystem, you just had to go in for Pioneer. I personally did not go in for Pioneer because I see a lot that surrounds it. But that is not to stop you. You're an adult. We could give you an information that someone says, but it is left for you to make a decision on where you want to invest your money. That particular voice note will still be aired here. It is your choice. If you want to have a change of mind and go for Pioneer slots, fine. It's a prerogative of choice, an individual choice and action. So, and that is how it is. We're a platform where we could earn what is one man's poison is another person's meal. So you can't say because you don't believe in that, someone else wouldn't believe in that. We're a platform and we are coming together as a family. So, all right. So that being said, we're going to be taking some questions and answers to this effect. All right. So the first question on the list here is asking whether the take home for beneficiaries is the amount still intact that we've been hearing of 5 million, 3 million, some 1.5, and the rest like that. And so precisely to answer that question, we might not be able to tell you specifically right now. You know that it's within the organ of millions. At some point we had 1.5. At some point we had 3 million. Then we also had 5 million. So within this range, you could definitely be falling to that. Then if you subscribe into different organs, different NGOs, you should know that if it is 5 million, then you are getting, if you subscribe to 4, you are getting 20 million, because that's 5 million in 4 places. If it is 3 million and it is 4 places or 4 NGOs, you're getting 12 million. If it is 2 million, you are getting 8 million. So that is how it is spread across. All right. So just know that it is not less than a million. That is for the grant, not the palliative. The palliative coming from the AGPGN is somewhat around, initially we had 50,000, but eventually we got to here 300,000. All right. So, and that is not a grant, it's just a palliative. The same thing also with St. Rita. St. Rita is more or less like a project initiative that could help you. It's not as the fee there or the price there or the amount there, so to speak. It's not as humongous as Theobald and UAEG. All right, I think that answers that question. Then we hear, there's the number 2 question says, I hope disbursement is sure this coming week. All right, not this coming week anymore. This is the week that we have entered into that hope disbursement is sure. Now, we are trusting God for the certainty and the assurance that backs this up by God's special grace. The information we got, it still remains intact about the delegates who went to Switzerland for the signatures and all that, and it's expected that with all indication by Tuesday they should be back, and all things being equal, they should be back with the IMF team. All things being equal, they should be back with the IMF team for the disbursement on agreement that they have signed to that norm and the assertion of ultimatum of 4 days that was given to them. If they oblige to that and they fulfill all the paraphernalia that surrounds all of the conditions that were met concerning the Nigerian government, nothing, absolutely, I'm not seeing anything that could hinder disbursement within this week, because everything is set. The meeting that was held in the villa was not with the IMF team, but everything was fine within the villa. It's just that there were some hiccups that needed to be met because of extension that they needed to get more, which IMF says no extension. Your extension is always based on you want to put some monkey hands there, and the government is seeking for extension now. Extension to what? What do you want to do with extension that you can't do within 4 days? So that was hushed, and that was cancelled, and that's why they had to sign some treaty agreement which has to foster progress for all and sundry. So that I believe that answers that. Now, can we get to know exactly the list of grants that are ready for disbursement? All right, the Sanctuary Wealth Multipurpose Foundation grant is ready for disbursement. The Theobald is ready for disbursement. Then the St. Rita Foundation Midwest Improvement Program is ready for disbursement. The Supreme Grant is ready for disbursement. Then the Pioneers also, which also comes, alongside with the stakeholders disbursement, So all of these are ready for disbursement, and other ones too in that category. All right. Then question 4, is disbursement still visible this month? I think I've answered that question when I was answering the second questions. All right. So we trust in God for that, and by God's grace, we would laugh and smile this month. This month will not end until God surprise me and you in capital. All right. Another question: can we expect disbursement between now and first week of July? Why are you expecting in July when we are trusting God for June? When we are trusting God within this week And why extending it by yourself? My hope is so strong. My hope is strong. My belief system is strong. And that is me for you. So I personally am expecting within the week, not the first week of July. What am I going to do in July? So with everything, all things being equal, I'm expecting that everything is going to be fine. And it's going to be fine by God's grace. All right, I think that answers that question. And let's move to the next question. That's the sixth question on the line. Is the original amount for beneficiaries still intact, or it has been reduced as speculated? There is nothing that has been reduced. The amount speculated for disbursement to all beneficiaries remains the same. Nobody has reduced anything as of now. But during the when we hear the broadcast also of the county director, I believe that we are going to hear a lot more from his broadcast, and it's going to be well comprehensive, which is being awaited any moment from now. All right, so don't think of any slashing in your amount to be received. All right, that settles that, I think. Then question 7 says, is the disbursement coming out from grant handlers or at once or in batches? Now we understand that once the stakeholders have received their funds, then we talk about in fact, let me put it this way: the moment the stakeholders get funded, there is no more problem. The issue is the fund leaving the government to the stakeholders. Once the stakeholders, and when we mean stakeholders, we mean the grant handlers. I've always said that there was a wrong use of appellation, just the same thing they did for the CBN slot. While they were calling it CBN slot, could have called it something else, which made the CBN to come out to debunk some things, that we had no affiliation with anything called CBN slot. It was a wrong use of word, wrong appellation and nomenclatures. The same thing applies to stakeholders. Stakeholders, you are a stakeholder. I am a stakeholder. Everyone in here has a stake as long as you're a subscriber. So I don't see them calling that the people that are ahead of us are the stakeholders. Then who are you? Even the county director is a beneficiary as much as you are a beneficiary. He's expecting the same fund that everyone is expecting. So, but when you say the grant handlers is well understandable. And that is exactly who they are referring to here as the stakeholders, the grant handlers. Now, so by restructuring that question, is the disbursement coming out from the grant handlers at once or in batches? So once the fund leaves the government to the grant handlers, which is the right way to ask the question, the grant handlers, all their stakeholders right now, you have nothing to worry about. All right. And once we get there, once it is in their custody, then we'll cross that bridge. It could be once, it could be a once payment rollout. It could also be in batches, but we pray that it should be once payment rollout, because anything batch by batch, it is always the first line batches that enjoys. Another one coming behind, may God have mercy. So I don't pray for any batch by batch rollout payout system. I pray for one-time rollout system for all and everyone to get it all at once. All right. Okay. Next question. Question 8 says, has the CBN disbursed to the stakeholders? Not yet. Not yet. Nobody has received any payment as at this time. Right? Nobody. All right. Question 9 says, please, when is disbursement? I've answered that before now. then please, what is the state of disbursement? Because this procrastination every day is affecting our health status. I sympathize with you. I am in this too. We are all in this. We are all subscribers to this initiative, and we know what it means when you are in expectation and you are not seeing. It takes real faith. When the Israelites left Egypt, they knew where they came out from, but they never knew where they were going. They have never been there. So it was a real time of temptations for them. They just had to have that kind of formidable faith that will land them in the land of promise. And that was why they couldn't pull through. They didn't see where they were going. They've not been there before, including their leader. And this is where faith is of essence. The same thing applies here. The same thing. So I could feel your pulse. But the state of disbursement right now is that the document of ultimatum that is being signed at Switzerland, that is the state right now. Nobody has been disbursed to. So we are in the level of validation. Validation for the document to roll out in disbursement. I hope that is clear. All right, let's move down to the next question. And this one says, question 11, how many NGOs did you fix each beneficiary's names? All right, that is left to you. You're the one that knows how many NGOs that you registered with or that you actually get involved with. And the NGO I registered with, I started with Theobat. Then when UAAG was to be captured, the NGO, my NGO head says there's no point that we register for what's the name, UAAG, that all the data that were submitted to him for Theobat has been also captured with UAAG. So that's automatic there. And for everyone who registered under Theobat, then doctors have been assimilated with the submission to UAAG. Yours could also be the same, or you have possibly been registering now in other places, and that also counts for you. That counts for you. So I think that takes care of that particular question. All right. This one says, what is the hope of both grant handlers and beneficiaries as things are being delayed? Always. The hope of everybody is that we are going to get this bust too. That's left for you to believe that or disbelieve that. The hope of both the grant handlers and the beneficiaries is that we are going to get this bust. So keep your calm and hope for the best. All right. Who are the stakeholders in grant community? That's another question. We'll have answered that. They are the grant handlers. All right. They are the grant handlers. What is the difference between stakeholders and grant handlers? There's no difference as far as I'm concerned, except by my definition. The stakeholders is everybody. The grant handlers are those that the funds get to right from government, then to get to us. You understand? But they have used the word stakeholders to mean the grant handlers. All right. So the stakeholders are the grant handlers, so to speak. Okay. As far as I'm concerned. Then we have, the last question, or second to the last, how do we report registered people that are paid or short paid? Those who are short paid. I think I've once talked about this, but that reminds me, if you are going to possibly you register in different NGOs, that is to say that we wouldn't be collecting the same amount of money because based on the number of places you registered with. But if you registered in, let's say, an NGO A and you know someone else who registered in NGO A, then your friend is being paid 10 naira, then you are being paid 5 naira. It's a red flag because you are in the same NGO. It's high time you shout out. This is where the EFCC is also involved in all of these things. And I'm beginning to see that a lot of noises will flood and proliferate the ecosystem when this payment is made. A lot of people, there are people that, let me not say what I wanted to say, but the fact remains that, see, once the payment is effected and you are short paid, definitely the management is going to take care of that. Part of what has been laid down on the MOU is that no grant handler or CEO should underpay any beneficiary, because there are consequences and they are meant to sign a memorandum of understanding to abide by the principle, else they land themselves in jail or at EFCC custody. It has to be so that everyone, I've made a comprehensive video on this before. You can do yourself a favor, go through this channel, you will see that favor. It is so comprehensive on what the CEOs, the cluster heads, and the grant handlers are expected to do, else they face their consequences of their actions. There has to be order within the grant ecosystem. I think that answers that. And the last but not the least is how many categories of grants are going to disburse soon. I think I've answered this in the preceding question. I listed them for you: the UAAG, the Theoba, the Supreme, the Centrita Foundation and Midwest Improvement Program. The AGPGN is also there. I think also the Hope Project is also part of that. And there's another one like that. I can't remember the name now, but a lot of them, it is this same fund that UAAG is expecting, that all of them are expecting. It's not different. It's not different. It's like it's big enough to go around. So when Theobald comes out to boast and brag and all that, as if there's a fund different from what is being awaited by Sanctuary World, it's different. It's not different. It's the same. It's the same. It's just the departments that the fund is headed that makes it different, and who handles it at the other section. So it's the same massivity of funds that all of them are awaiting. You see that what's the name? Mama Supreme is silent now. Centrita has been silent over time, and at some point they were talking about logistics and all that. They are silent because they know that the fund has not touched them, and it's the same actual fund. When it appears like it's becoming so real, you see them, they come out again and release updates, because it's the same fund. When Apostle Ken comes out, they too will come out, because it's the same fund. So I think I don't want to make this video too long, but I guess you've been able to catch some understanding with this, and we might still do some other question and answers based on some questions that have been asked in recent times, and you needed respite and answers to them. So thank you very much for standing on and staying by all through. It's going to end in praise, so there's no point smacking your head on anything. Just trust the process, believe in God, pray more, and have faith in God. Everything is going to be fine. We're all stakeholders in this, and we're committed to your greater good. This is Princess Seed Channel, a channel with formidable of updates and all information that you could need to spice up your understanding, your witnessing, and your blessing. We love you, and in case you're new or you pass by, just punch in that subscribe button and hit the bell so that you don't miss out on vital update. When we drop one, you have one. Thank you very much for drawing the curtain for this night commentary till we come your way again, possibly tonight, all things being equal, if God wills. Or until then, have a nice night rest.